Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in another video today, and today we're going to be talking about the Dallas Mavericks potentially trading Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been with Dallas for the last 5.5 seasons. He was acquired in the Kristaps Porzingis trade. He went to Dallas with Porzingis in that trade, which, at the time it looked like such a great trade. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a bad trade for Dallas, because Tim Hardaway Jr. has had some good seasons and has played some good basketball, mostly off the bench. But I think the other thing for me is that I don't think a lot of people realize this, but the Porzingis trade for Dallas really kind of helped them get Kyrie Irving in sort of a way, because Porzingis spent a couple seasons with Dallas. Eventually, they traded him to Washington, and what did they get back in return? They got back Spencer Dinwiddie, and a draft pick. And I know they traded Spencer Dinwiddie to Brooklyn, but I think they traded that same draft pick they got in that Washington trade for Porzingis to Brooklyn for Kyrie. I'm not 100% sure if they. I think it was one of their own picks that they gave to Brooklyn for Kyrie, but they got Spencer Dinwiddie for Porzingis, and then were able to move Spencer Dinwiddie and some other draft picks for Kyrie Irving. So I know, Dallas just lost in the NBA Finals, but Kyrie Irving has been big for them. He's played great basketball, and not only that, but even if, they get crushed in the NBA Finals and he played bad, they still made it to the NBA Finals, and he was a big part of why they made it to the NBA Finals. Obviously, it's unacceptable the way he played in the NBA Finals, but, honestly, they wouldn't be there without him. They wouldn't be the NBA Finals without Kyrie. He was huge in the other rounds against Minnesota, the Clippers, and the Thunder. So, I mean, he had the game winner in the Thunder series in Game 6 to send them to the Western Conference Finals. He was huge in the playoffs up until the NBA Finals. So, but that Porzingis trade did help them get Kyrie in a way. But, Tim Hardaway Jr. has been with them for 5.5 seasons. But this past season was arguably one of his worst seasons as a Dallas Maverick, at least one of his worst shooting seasons. Shot 35%. His worst shooting season with Dallas is actually 34% in the 21-22 season. But this was one of his worst field goal percentages. Only 14 points per game, 1 assist per game, 3.2 rebounds per game. From three, he shot 35%. From his field goal percentage was 40%. Only averaged 26 minutes per game. He was terrible in the playoffs. In the playoffs, 14 games, 12 minutes per game. He shot 35% from three. And, 35% is not terrible from three, but with how good of a three-point shooter he is, that's not great for him. I mean, he's a career three-point shooter of 37%. Going into this season, he was a three-point. His percentage was 37%. And scoring the basketball, he was very inefficient. There may be some times where he would be able to, he was shooting the ball good, but in the regular season and in the postseason, he was very inefficient. One game he's absolutely shooting lights out, and then the next game he's just absolutely shooting terrible. So it'd be on and off for him. He only averaged 4 points per game in the playoffs in 12 games, with 2 rebounds per game and not even 1 assist per game. So Dallas needs to look to move him this offseason. There have been talks about potentially trading him for a couple seasons now, but I think this year is finally going to be the year that he gets moved, because I think next year is his last year on contract, but it's going to be hard to move him because, he's a great player. He's a good shooter. This year he showed he's a very inefficient shooter and a very inefficient scorer, but at the same time, his contract is terrible, and it's an expiring contract. So they're going to have to move some assets with Tim Hardaway Jr. To potentially get something solid back. But let me know your thoughts on the Dallas Mavericks potentially trading away Tim Hardaway Jr. in the comment section, and peace out.